hands, turning chains just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into my life just like another season. Not so long, just like time, just like another season. You came into my life just like another season. Not so long, just like time, just like another season. Come my way this season.
Watching it end again and again. I feel it in waves, you follow me. I'm drifting to places I should leave. So close to the edge of something so perfect. We were too scared to take the leap. I'm missing the way we used to be. Let me go. Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Couldn't get any closer. Try to forget all that we had. I'm rolling like water in the sea. The memories crashing into me. So close to the edge of something so worthy. You have the world right at your feet. It almost is all we'll ever be. We can't get any Let me go. Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. goes so fast, all tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I've no patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Ain't no luck finding real love. Gotta know where to look. Time moves fast, and I've grown up. Yeah, I want to. Used to pay my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I've no patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me What can I do to make you stay a little longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a little longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for Week 3, Day 1 of Duo Esports Tournament. Right now, we will be having IBSG playing first, and casting alongside me is Warhood.
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome back. As Meep said, it's great to have you here for Week 3 of the Bronze, Silver, Gold, Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold competitive series, and the Gold, Platinum competitive series. We have two matchups tonight. As you can see, one name is already shaded out. Team Obliteration had a bit of a smurfing issue earlier in the middle of last week. Unfortunately, couldn't field a team for tonight. So, with that said, we have two marquee matchups to give you. Killer Whale Brigade versus All One Lane, and then Classic Esports Retro against another team that's had smurfing issues, Resurrected Gaming. Which game are you looking forward to, Meeps?
I think they're both going to be good games. I really want to see this team because this could be the spot for 4th place. This game determines pretty much who gets 4th place, I think, or even higher. So this could be an exciting game in my opinion.
Two bubble teams shaping up here. Is going to be a great, excellent show here as we wait for the last teams to set out. It looks like we get one team ready. So now we're looking at this. Let's give you a quick roster rundown what we have here. We have Shudda Beast, the former EG top laner in the top lane for Killer Whale Brigade, followed by Lamb's Arrow in the jungle, Fergal Venom in the mid lane, C9 Blue Sentinel in the AD carry, and then finally, last but not least, their captain, Drakenrich, in the support lane. For all-in-one lane, we have Sheer Effin Will in the top lane, Got a Hell 22. I think I'm saying that right. Got a Hell 22 in the jungle, Spike 2929, the veteran of Duo Esports in the mid lane, Kid on Fire, the other veteran in the AD carry role, and then Soshana in the support lane. So
yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it certainly is, as we get very shortly into the Champ Select. As we have a little bit of talking going on here, but here we go into Champ Select. We go here. What are you looking to see?
I think they're going to lead off with, currently both sides, I think a Braum ban's going to come out, honestly. It's just such a powerful pick. I think they're going to want to ban the Braum. But both supports are also known for their Threshes. So we might see a Thresh early pick or something of that matter. But with both supports being known for Thresh players, we could also see the Morgana ban. But it looks like they opted for Scion ban and the Sedge ban.
Yeah, and then on the other side of it, we see the Kindred and the Cassiopeia. Kindred, I guess, kind of not really a meta ban, but with Lamb's Arrow literally supporting, Kindred. I guess that's a kind of classic ban here. And then we see it rounded up here with the Lissandra being banned out and the Silas here. The first pick, Braum, is left open on the table. And a couple other ADC carry hyper carriers are left open too. We're going to see probably a prioritization in the support, if I would say so myself, the bot lane and myself.
Galio pick. Galio is a very good team-oriented pick. He can use his R to get around the map. Doesn't apply to damage reduction anymore, but just that ability to get across the map, join that fight pretty quickly, and if he has TP, he can get back to the lane pretty easily too. It's just such a powerful presence.
Yeah,
and something to watch out for. I
forgot who we saw it against last week, but we saw Galio absolutely pop up, building full AP here, and now there is the Alistar picking it up for the team of all one lane, and now we get the opportunity to really, I guess they're sort of daring the Drakenrich to take his Thresh here.
Yeah, the Alistar pick was actually something I did see. I looked through some match histories in Ocean. I don't know how to say his name exactly, but he was playing a lot of Alistar. And the Caitlyn pick. Kid of Fire is known for his Caitlyn, picks it up a lot. So we'll see how that powerful bot lane does.
Definitely getting stronger here. And there is the second part of the Galio Wombo combo with Nocturne being picked up here for Lamb's Arrow. That's incredibly strong post 6. He could just ult at whatever lane he wants there, and then Galio can immediately follow up with his own ult, and before you know it, if it's the bot lane, you can have a 4v4, a 4v2 happening, breaking out there. And then the Twitch for the side of C9 Blue Sentinel coming in here, I'm going to have to assume there's nothing going to be crazy going on. That is an 80 carry Twitch.
Yeah, I think it's 80 carry Twitch. But recently with the Conqueror changes, I've been loving Conqueror Twitch. So maybe we'll see that this game. It's pretty wicked, but we will find out.
It certainly is here as we kick down to the last pick of the first one. And there's a hover on Hecarim. Will that be a lock-in, though? Yes, it will. Hecarim locked in for the first time in duo this season.
Yeah, Hecarim's an interesting one. Hecarim's ability to get on top of that Twitch could be very fearsome in a fight. Be able to R on top of the Twitch and knock them back towards the front of the team could be really problematic, especially with him being their main carry at the moment.
So Darius is taken off the map here. We do actually have the opportunity to ban Thresh with one ban left here. The team of both teams deciding not to prioritize, all their picks here, especially with the team of Killer Whale Brigade deciding to leave open their support for one of the last picks.
I would ban Braum right here. Braum is so good at messing up their engage potential. They just ban that off. They can engage free will pretty much. Thresh can flay them off, yes, but it's still a lot less oppressive than Braum's are.
Certainly is here as we get a tick down to see what the Sheer F and will be banning out in the final thing. And there is the Urgot, another OP top laner to pick up here. That Shoot-A-Beast will not get the opportunity to. And now really the ball's in Killer Whale Brigade's court. They don't have to ban away the Braum. They instead ban away the Nasus, focusing on that top lane of Sheer F and Will.
Yeah, the Urgot ban. Urgot's been a strong pick. But this patch he did get nerfed. His mana got severely hit on his Q. It takes like 31% of his mana, level 1, to throw out a Q. It's pretty insane.
Well, speaking, I maybe you could correct me here, but speaking of top laners that are slowly becoming meta again as Urgot falls out of the meta is Yorick. Yorick, I've seen incredibly a lot of play time getting picked up here in amateur leagues with his ability to split push, which is his ability to 1v1 and the ability to push and take towers.
I don't know how York was going to do. York thrived off of the old Conqueror. With this new Conqueror, it definitely makes it so that a more trade-heavy carry is just a more trade-heavy champion is better. So with York winning the trade a lot, I could see it being very good on him, and it also with increased healing on all the true damage he puts out.
Yes, it certainly is there. And then the last two pickups are the Pike, and the Shen. What a great opportunity here. I think this is also the first pick in duo in a very long time, actually, since I think it was Blight, formerly of Naughty Nips, taking Pike in the top lane, it getting picked up here, and then finally the counter pick coming out of the Swain.
I think Rutledge also took Pike top a couple times, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, maybe he did. As we now get to look at these final teams here, the switching starts to come around. Shen going for Shoot-A-Beast. They have completely made a super mobile comp here. This is going to be just, I'm not going to lie here, I think this comp for Killer Whale Brigade is going to be disgusting once all the lanes hit 6, and Pike can roam up, the stealth of Pike, the stealth of Twitch, Galio just ulting whichever lane they want to gank, and then the Shen following up behind that, as well as the Nocturne.
Yeah, it's gonna be really rough for them to really just get picks across the map. If anybody's ever in trouble, Shen can instantly get there, and you just have to really be careful for that 5-man bot. Like that 5-man bot is very prevalent, especially with that team comp that Killer Whale Brigade drafted. But if they do the 5-man bot, you have to watch out for that Yorick split push. Yorick will take tower if you leave him alone too long in the lane.
Yeah, it certainly is here. The matchup, again, I'm very interested in this mid lane matchup, the Galio versus Swain. Not exactly two of the most meta champions right now, as we were talking about. Swain, towards the mid part of Season 8, was super meta, almost ban or first pick worthy. And the Galio himself was super pick ban worthy, really early into the beginning of the game, beginning of the season, now kind of got hit with the nerf bat a little bit, should be and brought back down. The question is, will they be able to really, whichever lane is going to be the one to get the pressure on it probably is going to win if these junglers decide to prioritize the mid lane.
Yeah, Swing Galio's it's just such a dull matchup. Neither can kill each other. At level 2, Galio can maybe, but it's just so hard. And Galio doesn't have has a TP, so he doesn't have the ignite kill potential. It's actually just a super boring matchup. They're both just there, pretty much.
Yeah.
Such a depressing matchup.
Such a depressing matchup, but hopefully this is not going to be a depressing game as we get into Killer Whale Brigades versus AOL. We have 1 minute and 34 seconds left on the clock here. As we now look to continue here, we can go over these summoner spells. Do you see anything pretty much interesting here? Everything looks, without getting too much into it, I guess the Swain Ignite is a pretty interesting one, I would say, to take in this case.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Ignite into Galio because killing Galio is a bit hard. And he's not healing for a ton, so you don't need the Ignite. I think TP would have just been a safer call to match maybe the Galio R-bot. It's just been a safer pick overall.
Yeah, I mean, I am struggling to figure out why they would take an Ignite there in the mid lane. I can sort of understand if you're AOL, right, and you're conceding the fact that, if this team, Killer Whale Brigades, makes the first move here, there's no way they're going to actually win whatever lane they gank because there's just so much follow-up coming out here, especially in the bot lane, because in the matter of something like 5 seconds, all 5 members of Killer Whale Brigade are going to be in the bot lane. So now the question is, do they start taking the turrets? But now the question I have to wonder is, will a Swain be able to push those turrets down? And he's not the best turret taker, in my opinion. So it is something we would have to watch here if they decide to, 5-man gank the bot lane at level 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think this bot lane is going to be interesting, though, with the Pyke. Pyke is a very, heavy kill lane, usually. Usually Pikes cause plays to happen more often than not. They want the plays to happen, especially at 6. So it's going to be very interesting how that goes. And Pyke is actually pretty good in Alistar, honestly, because Alistar R does not prevent true damage. So Alistar, if you're below that threshold, you're dying. Even if you do press R.
Pretty interesting thing. Actually, I did not know that. As we get into this loadout screen, as we can look at the masteries or runes or whatever they're called now into this page here, not much. I guess you were talking about that new Conqueror meeps. York deciding to take that the new Conqueror, even though it may not be the best choice for him anymore. And then on the other side with the Conqueror as well, the Twitch did not take it.
Yeah, Twitch Conquer it's a new thing. A lot of people don't really know what it does. I would just play test in a bit. Lethal Tempo is the typical thing to take because you just get more auto attacks off when you are. I actually want to see which build this Twitch goes. If he goes for the old Bork build, if he goes for the new meta BF into a Runeans build, back to the old crit meta.
That is something we can definitely look out for you. I have to ask you this question, though, because I've always wanted to play Pyke, but I'm just too scared of inting this, Meeps. What it is called, as we get actually super quick loading speed. Great job for them. For the first time in a long while, we have a loadout that doesn't take 5 minutes. Are the summoner, what is it called? As I can't even remember the name of it now. The CC trigger aftershock of the Pyke, is that normal build there, or do you want to go something more damage focused like an Executioner's?
Aftershock is an amazing keystone on.
It really is.
On Pyke.
On Pyke. All right. So thank you for answering me that question there. As we get into this game here, we get to see the 5-point breaking out here, the cowbell coming out here for the Alistar, the only proper Alistar skin in the game, the Mukau Alistar coming out here as we see the standard 5-point. We now get to look here for all these gank pressures here. I'm going to say that probably got a hell 22. That's so awkward to say. Is gonna be looking to exert early pressure onto this map lane, probably looking to get gank pressure down onto the top lane if he decides to start that blue buff and do horizontal jungling or vertical jungling up to the top side of the map here. That's probably the best way to look here. Taking the Ghost as well, going to be an early one as the wards go out there. Both teams know where it is here, but here comes Hecarim actually deciding to start Razorbeaks early level 1 here, and then the team of Kid on Fire and the Alistar are actually going to try and shove in this wave early to get the priority over to them to take the early Scuttle Crab coming in.
Yeah, something I'm actually hoping happens. I really hope, seeing this mid lane, Galio has a decent gap closer so he can go in on this swing. If this support roams up somewhat early, it could give you could give up a little pressure bot, but you could get that Galio mid snowballing up so that he's able to do more in this lane, and I would really like to see that this matchup.
Would be super interesting here, and now here comes Hecarim taking actually the red buff, not traveling down here, and now continuing to full clear his top side of his jungle. I have to assume that means he's going to hit level 3 and then come gank top lane. But here comes Nocturne as well. I'm going to assume trying to take the bot Scuttle. But he doesn't realize that there is a ward in that map, and he is going to get spotted out here. There's going to be an opportunity for the counter jungling of the Hecarim.
Yeah. Just a typical York shoving the Shen in. That's pretty typical. York's wave clear, and not wave clear, but just lane dominance is very strong early. Only way Shen wins that if he has his W up while standing on his AoE.
Yeah, it certainly is here, and there comes actually a great job there by Galio, I would have to say, shoving in that lane here so the Nocturne can get the early rotation here. And I don't know how that normally works, but Hecarim actually being forced to recall after taking a couple hits from the Krugs. I don't know. I can check really quickly to see if he took anything. If you pardon me for that for 1 second. It does not look like it. So it looks like we're going to have to see if that comes back to really hurt him, that early clear.
Yeah, he was able to back and get his boot, so he's able to hit that Predator and gank mid, it looks like.
Yeah, here comes the gank mid here. Galio is extended here. I don't think Galio sees it. There's the Predator popped here, and there's the knockup. There's the taunt from the Galio there. Galio actually doing a great job turning this onto God of Hell. The escaping here with not burning anything, I think. And now a little bit of trading going on in the top lane as well. Great job by Galio. Just standing his ground, knowing the damage that was going to be exerted there and not having to burn his flash or any of his summoners there and actually winning the trade.
Yeah, it's pretty well played by Galio.
Oh, there comes the engage there by the Twitch. As Twitch goes down there, followed by Drakenwitch. There's the first blood on the 1v1. Twitch, one of the things is incredibly squishy.
Yeah, that was that's pretty actually expected in the Caitlyn Alistar matchup. Caitlyn Alistar is very impressive. They could, especially against the Twitch, who doesn't have a lot of early laning, just pressure. So abusing that was pretty well played.
Yeah, it is. And now I'm all caught up, so you don't have to worry about me miscasting anything here. As we see to look what looks like to be an early dragon take coming over on the side of AOL here, taking that first death they got from the Twitch, and now looking to spread that into a little bit of global objective pressure here, taking the Cloud Drake.
Oh yeah, something I wanted to mention earlier, but I didn't, was this York-Shen matchup. I don't think York exactly knows what to do.
Oh, there is, I don't know if we're going to see anything here, but the Hecarim had to actually smite early, but no one's there to follow up there and get out of that. I'm sorry, you can continue that now, Meeps.
Yeah, no problem. But that York, I don't think York really knows how to use the new Conquer. Well, it looks like he might find out right here, but he just runs away. Yes, the new Conqueror really works well if you duel.
Yeah, well, here comes another little bit of duel here. Actually, what's it called? York's ult is popped to shove him under turret. It's called the Eulogy of the Isles. gets shoved in there, but there's not a lot of trading going on there onto Shutta. Actually, Shutta just took a ton of burst damage from that ult, and now Sheer F and Will just backs away from it, and now decides to recall this lane and probably just, go back and spend his 1,400, 1,500 gold that he's earned in this lane so far.
Yeah. York busting his R right there, trying to get the kill on Shen was a bit questionable, seeing how low on mana he was. That man had 0 mana. So he definitely didn't have the kill pressure to do that. But if we look elsewhere besides top, it looks like AOL is doing really well. Like mid lane, a 20 CS lead, bot lane, a 10 CS lead. Like the only lane that's behind in CS is the jungle. So it's looking very good for the side of AOL. They are farming and keeping themselves in the game with the kill they have. So pretty significant.
Yeah, it is here as Lamb Arrow continues to try to power farm 2-6 here to get this ult off so we can finally start doing anything. On the other side, though, this Hecarim, who is behind in CS here, actually has completed his Predator Moby boost already, so he's going to be zooming around the map. As we see this here, it looks like Nocturne's trying to do a little bit of a cheeky invade to get his level 6 off, but he doesn't actually find anything in the bot side jungle of this Hecarim, as now he looks to take the Razor Beaks here, and I would have to assume that is going to be level 6 for him. Yes, it will be. So we're going to be looking to see a lot of pressure coming off from this Nocturne very soon now that he has hit 6.
Yeah, now that all these lanes are 6, like I'm expecting that 5-man bot, especially with how far pushed in they are. Yeah. Looks like Nocturne's going bot right now.
Speaking of the 5-man bot here, it looks like the Nocturne is looking for, I don't know, he was caught out here, so it looks like that's going to be, at least for now, off the table. But it doesn't mean he's not going to come right back to it here. At least for their sake of AOL, the Galio isn't trying to roam down into the bot side jungle. But there's a little bit of a hook there from Osun onto it. There has to actually burn a flash here. There's not a stun left up by Drakenwish. Drakenwish burns the ignite, though, and here it comes. You can talk about they're itching to get this 5-man bot off because you can see both these jungler and the mid laner start to roam down as soon as that fight happens.
Yeah. I think right now, once this Twitch hits 6, I think it's going to be the best time for them to try to force bot. Once Twitch hits 6, it's pretty significant. And speaking of which, he is 6. They could maybe force something. Yeah, but they do not know Hecarim's there.
Nocturne actually cancels his back here. There goes the darkness. Does he get anything, though? He's actually diving this under turret. Doesn't get much out besides, just a little bit of pulverizing. He has to run away. But on the backside, Fergovenom actually baited the Shen into getting a little bit out of position there. Gets a little bit of trade-off. Takes a turret shot here. And now he's going to have to start running here because he's about to get caught very soon. Oh, and now this Nocturne as well is getting a little bit greedy here. But the Hecarim's there as well. They don't actually see each other. This is going to turn into a big fight soon as now the slows start to come out. Twitch having to burn his flash to get away there. And now I don't think I've ever seen anything like this happen. The Nocturne got the invade off and now he's caught in the jungle of the Hecarim as he waits this out to get away safely.
Yeah, that was interesting passing. Really interesting passing. That Nocturne invade was, yeah.
Oh, well, here comes a fight by Spike, but now it looks like the Ignite goes down here. The Nocturne is about to fall there. There comes the Shen ult. We were talking about 5-man ult here, but it doesn't matter because the teams start to fall here. There's the follow-up. Shen actually does a great job dodging it, and here comes the rotation, actually just gets away. Great flash there by Shutta Beast.
Yeah, at this point, AOL is extremely far ahead for this time period. They're 3K ahead at 10 minutes. This is looking very, very bad for the side of Killer Whale Brigades. They need to get something done, or they need to scale, actually. They just need to scale, let this Twitch scale up. Make sure Twitch doesn't get too far behind, but don't bleed out also.
Yeah. Well, speaking of bleeding out here comes the Ocean Drake going over there. They have nothing to really stop this here. The Hecarim, though, taking a ton of damage from these dragons, though, as the trading begins to happen on the top side. Sheer F and Will is now trying to chain it as Hecarim takes the dragon here, but Shutta is actually very close to solo killing Sheer F and Will. very lucky there by him to get out alive here. Could have been a very dangerous thing if they continue to push this down.
Yeah. Right now, Shooter's the only lane that's looking even a bit promising, but he's still down 30 CS.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, it is. That is really bad here. At least you can say like some of that lead was gained by the fact that Shuda decided to teleport into the mid lane onto that fight to try and save his team, which is the best thing. Ooh, Pyke actually just walking onto it, trying to catch Kid on Fire, but Kid on Fire actually getting away here, poking out Drakenrich kind of hard. A little bit of a rush trade here. Maybe this is a sign of them starting to feel the pressure of starting to fall so far behind.
Yeah, and if we look mid also, mid's down almost 40 CS. It's pretty ridiculous. Mid has a 1,000 gold lead for the side of AOL.
Oh, the Hecarim actually nearly catching out the Pyke again. Oh, a flash coming in here though, and here comes the 4-man on the bot side. The stun actually, great job stunning him there, the Nocturne there, as now they continue to chase here. Galio getting a nice 2-man taunt off here, as now there goes one for the Twitch. Twitch continuing to fire on the back, the front line of the Alistar here, as Alistar about to fall as well. Now that all that's left is this this Swain who gets the kill on the Pyke, and that's going to be the end of it. A 2-for-1 there. Great little collapse there, and just as bad, like a little bit of a throw there that kind of gets them back into this game, at least feeling-wise, and now more importantly, the Twitch is 2-1.
Yeah, that's really good for the side of KWB, guys. Their carry is now has 2 more kills under his belt, almost closed the gold lead between the 280 carries. Late game Twitch is going to be very, very hard to deal with for the side of AOL due to their, well, they have the Hecarim to get on top of the Twitch, but he can easily shred through most of their team. So we will see how that happens.
As we see in the top lane, Sheer decides to drop his ultimate again here and just continue to try to push this pressure down onto the top turret. This turret, if the team of KWB doesn't give any pressure to shut us soon, is going to lead into a very bad turret lane and first gold taken, which is not at all what they want to see this early here. Kid on Fire, however, is caught out just a little bit. There comes the ult and the regank. Flash and the stun burned. Actually, Drakenwish misses his ult, but Lamb's arrow is there to pick it up here, as now it looks like the Alistar is going to get away here, but Shutta on the backside is about to fall to the Hecarim. Great little pressure, topsy-turvy pressure there, as now a flash is burned again by Alistar, and this is going to be the first turret in the top lane falling.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks like a little skirmish mid lane.
Yeah, nothing more going on there about the mid lane. But there goes the turret in the top side, so a little bit more of that global pressure going over there. And now the Hecarim and AOL is going to look to take this Rift Herald with the Nocturne on the bot side of the map. Great little macro play by them.
Yeah, I don't know what Kidafire was thinking. He was in such a bad position right there between Tribush and lane. That is a position you almost never want to be in as an ADC. Well, especially when the tower's still up. Like, why?
Yeah. I mean, he had something in mind there. He laid down the 3 traps to get away, like to not let them come up there. Maybe they were looking to try and clear that pink ward and just got collapsed upon too quickly there, which is a good job by Killer Whale Brigades. But ultimately, it cost them the turret and the Rift Herald and a kill. So I don't know if that's exactly the most worth thing to just get Caitlyn summoners and then a kill onto the Caitlyn for a turret, a kill, and the Rift Herald. Great little trade there by Swain. Swain at full HP could go in at any moment here. He's going to be in a bad position now for Fergal Venom as he gets locked up and rooted again. There he goes down. Just one combo there, and the Swain gets the kill. Wow.
Yeah, this Swain made this Ignite working to this lane. Just due to the Swain Roam got a couple kills, which really helped him. But the Galio not respecting the immense of gold lead is unfortunate.
Yeah, actually over a 3,000 gold lead at this point. Spike almost actually having double the gold onto him than the Galio does at this point in time here. Ooh, a little bit of misfire there by the Hecarim, but now it looks like the lane swap no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. There goes the Earth Drake, and now Sheer is just pushing down this tier 2 in the top lane. As I don't think we'll see anything yet here. This is going to be a great matchup coming over. There is the dragon coming over, and now they're just left to sort of go back to their lane. I'm starting to wonder, how does Killer Whale Brigade stop this before the slow bleed out just happens, and they don't have enough ability in the mid lane to fight this off?
Well, what Killer Whale Brigade has to do, they're down 7k gold, but what they have to do is that they just really need to scale and keep this Twitch alive in team fights. And a team fight, if they peel
Virgo Venom, I'm sorry to say this, Virgo Venom is caught out here, but so is Spike. There comes Drakenrich, but he's so strong at this point, it doesn't matter here. And now actually Lamb's arrow goes down on a topside skirmish as well. And now Yorick's caught in the backside here, but Blue 9 Sentinel is caught out as well here. Blue 9 Sentinel actually is about to fall almost. There comes the stun up. Can they just outkite this Swain here with full mana? Drakenrich misses the ultimate again, but gets the kill overall, and now the top tier 2 turret is falling as well from that skirmish in the top side. And during that, Caitlyn and Alistar just continue to pressure and take the map overall here. And now with Rift Herald popped, I don't know if this inhibitor turret in top lane is going to stand for much longer. Man, they're really not expecting this Swain.
Yeah. That was definitely interesting. Like, Virgo Venom needs to learn. I mean, not Virgo Venom. Drakenrich needs to learn how to hit his R's really bad. He's missed 2 for 2 so far. Maybe he's hit one. I just didn't see it, but
you know what they say: you miss all the shots you don't take. At least Drakenrich is taking these shots here. As now basically the whole map, they're starting to get pincered like the Roman Empire used to do here. They just held the line in the mid lane, but both side lanes have just absolutely collapsed here, which is not what you're expecting from a semi-global composition.
yeah, they're not really playing to their strengths at all. Like, they have 3 people that can get across the map in an instant, yet they're not abusing that. They need to play around their strengths and not around the strengths of AOL. They need to do the 1-3-1, I think, play it safe, just try to scale, and if a fight happens, then the 2 people who can cross the map in an instant do that.
Yeah. Well, now the question is, though, if they even do that and execute that properly, is it going to be enough with such a 8k goal lead at 18 minutes into the game here? The Orcas are certainly looking like they're about to be absolutely turned into perfume, as we now get to see the Yorick with nothing left to do. I mean, for me, when I play against the Yorick, this is at least the best option, because now the Yorick has nowhere else to split push, so he kind of has to stay in lane, or else he has to completely overextend, so they can collapse down upon the Yorick if he ever tries to go into a side lane right now.
Right now, Yorick, he could just go down a side lane. It would free up more pressure mid, but on the side of AOL, they just need to cause something, which they're doing.
Galio is caught out here. Here comes the darkness. They're trying to get away here. This is going to be much, though. Galio falls to the Yorick, and now it continues to go down. There goes the double kill onto the Shen there. There goes the double kill onto the Twitch, and a 4-for-0 there, as now both teams just sort of, the game sort of implodes here. I guess here's the thing, right? Here's the thing we're going to see, right? Do these teams in Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold understand how to close? Because at this point in time, they have a great gold lead. They're in complete control here. They're nearly battling a perfect game. Can they actually get away with just closing this game out quickly, 25, 23 minutes?
I think with the shotgun AOL, from what I've heard, I think they can. I've heard it before. It wasn't that bad. But at this point, I don't even think, they could do the stupidest stuff, but Spike is so strong he could probably 4v1. He is so strong, especially with his R. He needs his R to do this, but if he has R up with his Zinus, he can maybe 4v1. He is pretty massive.
He's pretty massive here. Actually, almost giving the Flame Horizon to the team, to the Galio, and now on the other side, actually almost up 5k gold onto this Galio here, as now they're going to slowly start to get smothered out, Killer Whale Brigades here, as we continue to see what is going on. They look to be setting up for this dragon here, which is a 3rd Cloud Drake. I mean, I guess that's you can't really ask for anything better if you're playing the Hecarim.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, but they don't. I guess they could take it. I don't know why Killer Whale Brigade's trying to contest it. Like, what are you guys gonna do? In for it?
Maybe. I mean, I remember vaguely. I forgot who it was, but in the EU LCS, back when it was the EU LCS here, as now Pyke actually, Draconrush actually walks up here trying to get it here. Doesn't understand. I think how far behind he is. Smite stole it by ulting through bot lane to mid lane. It was pretty crazy to see. Either way, now we get to see this going forward here as the siege begins here. Actually, a ton of damage onto Fergal Venom coming out here. As we get to wait here, he has no defensive items left, and here comes the split push of the Yorick again here. But here comes the team trying to collapse on it. Sheer F and Will a little bit caught out here, gets stunned up there, but there comes Hecarim on the backside. Shen ults them to the Twitch to try to get away here, but before he even could, the Nocturne falls here. Now here comes the Galio to jump onto it as well, but it doesn't matter as now Pyke falls, Shen falls as well. This is going to be the end of the game. A clear 5-for-0 ace, and now this probably has to spend the end of the game. Great job there, collapsing and correcting that mistake, or not even a mistake, baiting that into it. Now here comes the final push of the game.
Yeah, based on this game, I say AOL has clearly secured that number 4 spot.
Yeah.
Like they looked very good, especially in the mid lane. Spike with his roams got really far ahead. Spike and the Yorick did pretty dang good in their respective lanes. Yorick almost flame horizoning his opponent. It was 2 CS off the flame horizon, but yeah, it's a really interesting game.
Yeah, it certainly was here, as now we get to look at the gold here. You know what? You're talking about the Flame Horizon, but how about the Gold Horizon? Doubling the gold of Fergal Venom this Spike did there. What a outstanding match to see to we start this streak here from AOL here as we quickly get into the damages here coming out here. 16k for the Swain. Not a K a minute, so not that outstanding. But, you know, for a 20-minute game, that is pretty crazy. And the Yorick doing 13k as well. Actually, I'm always surprised by this. The Galio, for as hard as he got, like, you know, like handled in the mid lane, did 11k, did pretty I would say pretty respectable in that losing match, hard lost matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, he did do damage. He was the most relevant player on his team, at least. Galio has a pretty decent high base damage, so it's pretty easy to do that. Twitch got 2 kills, then proceeded to do nothing with them, which was unfortunate. I think I don't even know what, like, off the top of my head, I don't even know if Killer Whale Brigade could come back at any point past that 5k gold lead. I don't think they could have came back with their decision making.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is it's incredibly hard to really gain like not a positive, but like actually give feedback to the team of Killer Whale Brigade because of how quickly that game was lost there. It looked like they didn't show up. I hate saying these type of things, but it looked like they really didn't show up ready to play this match tonight. Really, it looked like they almost wanted to give in the best of one just to warm up here, or they didn't take, you know, serious threat here of Sheer F and Will and Spike. But now we'll just very quickly go check the graph, the vision graph that everyone here likes to see, and at least everyone for every team bought a control word.
Yes, they did. I was pretty thrilled to see that.
Yeah, and then finally, I guess pretty low. Actually, when is the last time you've ever seen a top laner have a higher vision score than a support?
Top lane.
Yeah.
That's not very common.
Yeah, well, that is what actually happened in this game with the Yorick on a 28 to the vision score of Alistar's 26. Wow, a good job from the vision coming out of this Yorick. Sheer Sheer effing will. I think this was actually his first night, so great job. Shout out to him joining the league and putting everyone really on notice in this division to come through here. But I think with that, we will be right back with the next game that we will see tonight, which will be, if you remember it, because I don't, Classic Esports Retro versus Resurrected Gaming. Resurrected Gaming looking to right the ship against Classic Esports Retro. Retro having picked up a win off stream against EG without 5 bans here, so certainly making a little bit of waves here. We will be right back.
It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house. 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 It's all about house music. It's all about house music. House music. House music. House music. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love.
swimming against the tide. I wanna forget you, but you pull me in. I know this ocean is far too wide. I wanna forget you, let me forget you. Push and pull, but you repel me, giving up this fight. Love and hate, we blurred the lines. I'm giving up this fight. You've lost, but I don't feel I have won. I wanna forget you, but only time will heal. Too late to erase the bad we've done. I wanna forget you, let me forget you. Push and pull, but you repel me, giving up this fight. Love and hate, we've blurred the lines. I'm giving up this fight.
Fold it up, we gon' burn it down.
I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go? How will I know? How will I know? I used to walk these roads with you.
You said the same thing I told ya. My eyes are clear, there's no secret. I wanna know, was it serious? I need it clear, my best friend. Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I know I told you it's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling. I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something. I keep my time in a pocket. I wanna find a new keeper. I like the way it's mysterious. I think I found my own way. Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I know I told you it's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling. I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something. Trying to hold my feeling, I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something.
The closer you got to me, the faster I try to leave. Like a mirage, like a mirage. The scars that you don't keep on my arms, I appear empty. Like a mirage, like a mirage.
And welcome back to Duo Esports. We are in Season 4. We are in Week 3. We have a great, exciting game for you here today. It is me, Vasila, going to be your play-by-play caster. And joining me today will be The Prophet. He'll be my absolutely fantastic color caster with the bravest, sexy voice I've ever heard all day. How are you doing today, Prophet?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, obviously we've got a very interesting matchup today between Resurrected, once a top-tier team, then Big Ol' Daddy hit him with the Banhammer. Big Ol' Daddy Dota hit him with the Banhammer, not doing so hot now. We have Classic. Maybe we don't know how good they are yet, so it'll just be interesting to see.
I look forward to it. Resurrected being resurrected into a middle-of-the-class team, maybe a little bit even bottom tier. We're not entirely sure yet. Classic Esports, I haven't seen enough to really gauge their how well they play. So I'm pretty excited to see what they're going to be happening or what they're going to pull out today. So that'll be exciting. And so Prophet, you have any expectations, any things you really want to see in this match today?
So big thing so far is that obviously I don't think Resurrected actually has a win right now. Let me go ahead and double check that. Yeah, they are currently sitting 0-3, whereas we have Classic, they're sitting 1-3. Their only win over EG. So obviously EG really has struggled this season. I don't want to overstate. Obviously, the biggest thing that EG has struggled with, not to make this an EG cast by any means, but just to sort of explain Classic's win over EG, is that they've yet to actually field their full starting 5. And so I feel like that, honestly, like, no disrespect to anyone on G or anything, but they haven't been able to see their full potential yet. So I'm a little concerned that Classic's only win is over, like, maybe a bottom tier team that was missing a player. That's my concern about how good Classic is. And I think Resurrected still has the potential to be really good.
Interesting. I look forward to seeing how this plays out. I will also mention, forgot to mention right as soon as we joined in, that I'm sorry for the bit of delay that we had. There was a bit of a caster snafu. I recently just got home, walked into my house 5 minutes ago, so glad I could join and show up today. And we are missing a band from Classic Esports Retro. I'm not entirely sure why. Prophet, can you fill me in?
For Retro, I'll be real, I have no idea. I think maybe they were late. That'd be my best guess. I did only see 4 members of their team in the lobby chat. That'd be my best guess However, if we look over to the side of Resurrected, I believe they lose all of their bans today due to e-subs. So that's how many they lose?
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Apparently,
you, beautiful voice in my head.
Ooh. Okay, so apparently CER is going to be losing 4 bans, while Resurrected is actually going to lose the big old 5 bans. So we're going to have a wonderful 1-ban game here.
So what you're saying is that we have a lot of time to stop and chat and talk about the game that's going to be upcoming. That neither of us have really any idea what's going to happen. We're looking forward to it because there's so many e-subs and what's happening and yada yada yada. There's no bans, yada yada yada. So we have plenty of time to talk about this game. So, any specific champions you want to see in this game?
Obviously, I mean, all the priority picks are going to be up. No Team Endless any bans. One thing that I do want to mention that I recognize from looking at their past OPTGs, I believe, is Silver Rookie. So, no, not related to the cast, unfortunately, but we're going to pretend it is.
Go on.
Silver Rookie was, before the nerfs at least, a big Karthus and Lysandra player. However, both those...
I can only be so erect. But
he was a Karthus and Lysandra player of all things. Anyways, I'm pretty sure he played Zoe too. It looked terrifying, honestly. Terrible champions, but so damn good. We see Karthus and Lysandra both getting nerfs recently. I want to see from Silver Rookie what other champion is going to pull out of the bag to maybe show, even if maybe Riot is not on his side right now, what he can do in order to make up for his champs maybe not being so meta right now.
Interesting. A control mage. I want control rookie. I want Silver Rookie to play Anivia. That's what I want. I doubt it'll happen, but it's what I would love. Or Orianna. I think both of them would be delightful because I really like what Karthus brings to the table. I like his high DPS style with the ability to do the epic amount of damage, especially when you get to the mid game with the Requiem and just doing epic team damage. And you have Zoe that you mentioned that he might play, which is honestly a puke. KYS, it's fine. Don't worry about it. The one-shotting potential of that champion is really dumb. I really don't like the way the bubble interacts and how the whole sleep mechanic works. That's my opinion, but honestly, really strong champion, really good at asserting these picks, and as well as also a decent amount of control that she provides and zoning potential. You also mentioned the other champion that he plays being Lysandra. Lysandra being a great point-and-click, great pick, great zone, great, you have to be aware of this champion's presence. And so that's very interesting to see. I would really like to see how he would perform on a champion very close to something like that, along the lines of Orianna or Anivia. I think it's kind of in his wheelhouse, but maybe a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. And heading over to the picks right now, I believe we're going to see our first pick come. And we do actually see that Yorick picked up by the side of, I believe... I actually, I'll be real, I think that's Classic? Yeah. Okay, left side's Classic, right side is AOL.
Classic is blue, and red side is Resurrected.
So one thing that we have been seeing recently, this patch, due to Yorick nerfs, or Yorick buffs, that is, a couple patches ago, is Yorick being the new priority pick in the top lane. With Urgot getting such a massive and debilitating nerf, which honestly well-deserved, Yorick is a big top laner that's going to be in the top tier right now, definitely worth the first pick.
Yes, Yorick is a great split push potential top lane. I really want to see how this Garen Yorick matchup interacts. I'm pretty sure Garen wins it in the early stage between levels 1 and probably about level 8, and then Yorick starts to eventually win it as Yorick, not the best scaling champion, but will outscale a Garen, as you do see Illusion and Pyke in addition to the Garen. So that's a lot of AD damage we're seeing and a lot of execute potential coming into this team. But before I even ask you about that, I want to ask you about this Braum Ezreal pick that's going to be very good at kiting.
Absolutely. Braum Ezreal going to be very slippery, going to be very hard to gank that lane unless you pick up some of that hard CC. Ezreal obviously still very good right now. If you run the double tier build, your damage is just absolutely ridiculous, and you can play so ridiculously safe. Braum, I'm not entirely sure. Ezreal Braum is a decent pairing, but it's not exactly an S tier pairing. Maybe you pick up something like the Thresh instead. But Braum, obviously still a very strong pick. One thing I am concerned about, I honestly don't know how Garen fits into this meta at all. Obviously you got that split push a little bit, but I'm just a little concerned how Garen's going to fit into team play.
I think for the most part that you're looking for when you have a Garen is that you want someone who can hard win his lane and be someone that's very hard for your team to play around. He can very easily accelerate his ability in the landing phase, and his W gives him such a great tank mechanic in the way that he can play around fights and the way he can survive fights. And so I imagine that he can easily transition into a body, just somebody that's like does immense amount of damage into a single target. Excuse me, multiple targets, and is just able to get like that one person that he can execute, get close to the execute range. People have to play around his judgment as much as they can, because it will hurt a lot. So I think it's going to be something to set up the Pike Ultimates. We do have that coming in here, the Judgment, the Death from Below, so I'm pretty excited to see how those will interact with each other. That's my opinion, is that like it should probably be the Yorick in the early stages, albeit I don't know if it's a great counter, but it should be very interesting to see, especially if Mighty Hero plays it so excellent.
I mean, even if we are questioning this Garen pick here, the other question is, what would you really want instead into it? Because obviously, like, I'll be real, I'm not sure if the top lane meta is really in a good place right now. Because before it was just Urgot who's S tier, right? Then you nerf the Urgot. And then the question is, what do you really have that can answer the split push effectively?
All right.
Who do you say Karthus?
There's one champion here that honestly should have been picked. Pretty easy to play. Really good scaling champion. Does great in the Yorick. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. His name is Jax.
Ooh. Jax? I mean, I could see him being in this meta. I'm not sure how much professional play he's been getting, but his late game play is always insane. Has he?
Actually, the top lane meta for LCS that I've seen so far has been a lot of Yorick and Jax.
Interesting.
Scaling and like auto attack canceling. You play Jax in the Yorick because he can facilitate the early game well enough, and then also get into the mid game where he can spike and scale and do very well. We also have a Karthus jungle and a Zoe mid by Silver Rookie, who you mentioned earlier, and honestly puke. However, how does the Karthus and Kindred matchup work out?
Karthus and Kindred, I believe Kindred obviously wants to get that early invade off, get those stacks. If she can get these lanes to have prio, and she can force the invade on this Karthus, that Karthus is going to be in a world of hurt against a fed Kindred. And one massive interaction to note this game. A Kindred ulti and a Karthus ulti. That is ridiculously strong. You have the Kindred ult right as the Karthus is ulting, and if your team is grouped up, then you can save each other all the time, and Karthus ulti is useless.
I will say yes and no, because albeit at the end of the fight, if Karthus does not use his Requiem till after the fight when he's in his undead state, that is not a bad idea to be able to figure that to play that around with Chandra on the Kindred. However, the power of a Karthus jungle is the power to initiate fights when the in this case the red team will be looking for fights specifically, especially around an objective. Is a Karthus wants to ult preemptively. So as much as like that, the Kindred ultimate, I can't remember the name of it, will be able to deny their death.
I think it's Lamb's Respite.
You're correct. I knew it was something Respite, but Lamb's Respite, correct. Will not stop their deaths because Karthus isn't looking to kill you. Karthus is looking to chunk you up before the fight can happen.
So with that said, do we see the Karthus start to ult preemptively in order to counter that, or do we see this maybe not so experienced Karthus player have issues with playing around this Kindred and start to struggle?
It should be interesting because with the way the composition that we see here right now is that Karthus definitely wants to ult preemptively for all of his teammates. Lucian, not the best scaling you can carry, will need a little bit of HP damage to be able to kill enemies as well. LeBlanc, depending on how much magic the enemy team is able to build, you will not have a very good one-shot potential. Garen, you always have to execute if necessary, especially upon somebody that you can kill, especially with the extra Karthus damage. You have the death from below from Pike. If you can set that up with Karthus ultimate, then you have a great fucking time.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a massive, just great team play interaction where Karthus ulti gets him to that 20% health and Pike just finishes him off.
I agree. So, with that in mind, which team comp do you think has the better scaling, easier way to win, shall we say?
So I'll be real. I think unless Resurrected hard stomps early game here, I'm going to have to give it over to Conqueror. Just because I don't see any way that they're ever going to be really super effectively be able to answer this Yorick split push, and especially if we get to late game. Classic esports, non-conquer. Feels fun. Anyways, my biggest issues that I have is that you've got LeBlanc, you've got Lucian. Other than like maybe Karthus, if he gets into a good spot, how are they going to be able to match this super tanky York in the split push without sending at least 3?
I mean, you can always bet on the fact that Johnny Retard may end up banking into the fact that he wants to do so much damage that he can that he can kill the Garen faster than Garen can kill him. So maybe they want to put their helmets on and bash each other in until somebody sees whose mom bought the better helmet. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, absolutely. We could see a lot of dueling. One thing I will be interested to see is what the top laners opt to go as far as runes. Obviously, Conqueror did get that rework. Very strong on these duelers who want to kind of just sit in there and have long extended trades. Get that up to that 5 stacks where you get that 10% healing and 10% true damage as well. Going to be very strong if they can make use of that.
Prophet, why don't you, for the audience, just explain how the new Conqueror works? Because frankly, wait, never mind. Don't even worry about it. Nobody even took it. Nobody even took it. York was like
pretty boosted, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
York was like, give me grasp. I want to auto attack more, and I was like, whatever, fam. But you see any interesting keystones so far? Because I see one that I really want to talk
about. Honestly, obviously we see Karthus going Dark Harvest. That's super standard. One thing that I am questioning a little bit is this Zoe going Airy. I do play a lot of Zoe myself. I think Electrocute is way better, to be honest. Obviously, you're going to get that empowered auto with that Airy. Maybe not terrible. Obviously, if it's Zoe empowered auto with that Airy as well, that could be decent. But I feel like Electrocute just makes your trades and your overall damage just so much better.
I will say that Dark Harvest, albeit, is good on Karthus. I don't know if it is still the optimal build. I haven't really looked, but I'm pretty sure Predator is still ultimately better. Especially in a composition like this where you want to preemptively ult for your team to be able to set up the plays that you want. Especially if you can Predator Ultimate and you can just completely chunk someone out of the fight before anything even happens. Because the entire point of your composition right here is to stall. There's not really good wave clear on either side of the team. Zoe's wave clear is conditional. Kindred and Ezreal have pretty low range wave clear, aside from the fact that Ezreal has long range damage, but not enough to clear an entire camp or clear an entire wave. Karthus is really good wave clear. LeBlanc has decent wave clear, however, has to put herself at risk. Lucian has decent wave clear, but also has to put himself at risk.
I mean, absolutely. One big thing that we did is to take note here is that Classic has a very pokey comp. Obviously, they've got Zoe and they've got Ezreal. Both those champions can lay down massive poke to the point where there is 0 sustain on side of Resurrected, so they've got to figure out a way to not be stuck under their tower during siege, just eating all that poke.
Yes, I would like to have seen some sort of hard engage on either side of the champion select. I don't think really anybody here has a really good hard engage, and with that, this game could go a bit long. I think the hardest engage we have is the flash ultimate of a Braum or the flash E of a Pike. It's not very good engage. You can probably bank on the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, but that's not really a good idea. So honestly, it's the hard engage here to focus on when you get the poke down or when you want to be able to engage to prevent the poke from happening is in a pretty awkward spot.
I mean, absolutely. Going to be very interesting to see how these teams look to close out this league game with no hard engage. Maybe you look for pike hooks. Obviously, that may be your best bet. You do have Braum engage, not super reliable. I think you're going to have to try and run a pick comp and try and just make use of cross-map play when the York is split pushing in order to try and make advantage of that, of the pressure that they're half going to send to answer.
Alright, trick question here. What about the other idea of dealing with the late game, of never hitting late game?
I mean, absolutely, that's going to have to be big. Just because, like we said, they've got LeBlanc Lucian. They don't really have a late game other than Karthus. Garen doesn't scale particularly well.
Yeah, I was about to say, they have Lucian, LeBlanc, and Garen. So you know what? Their late game is about as existent as... I can't think of a good joke right now. Frankly unlucky, but I'll
their late game is about as good as chance as EG making playoffs.
As Shuno hitting the cannon minion. Got it. Ooh, Karthus going aggressive right into the Kindred despite the fact that Kindred has a
Kindred has red buff.
Kindred has the red buff. Kindred is a better spot. Kindred does have the scuttle there and has her mark. We really have everybody going against there. Blade Thesis is really trying to get it. Ooh, will try and spite it away, but Jandro will get it with the auto attack as he does live with 21 HP. Jandro is in a bit of a little awkward spot. Karthus is able to get the skittles down, able to do a bunch of damage. Then Soft and Pops Rycook will be able to come to her aid. However, Lucian and Sir Skills will be able to cut off their retreat. They're going to go really aggressive. Then Soft is in a bit of an awkward space, and he is ignited. He is a bit low. Sir Skittles will get that auto attack and get the first blood. Sir Skittles feeling a bit aggressive as Densoft kind of griefs himself a little bit. We do a Pops Rycook trying to get Bladed Thesis in a bit of an awkward spot considering his evade to try and cut them off a bit. But that should be it.
Hello, we're 3 minutes into the game. What just happened? That was absolutely insane to see such a big river fight that early. Like, literally everyone rotated in order to try and help get that scuttle. Obviously, Kindred did get it, but we saw First Blood go over to this fight.
As much as, like, that was good for Kindred to get that first scuttle, her bot lane overcommitted super hard, and you can see it in the CS numbers. Up 13 CS in those first 2 waves is disgusting. That is so high. Because Lucian able to get like a good wave push, especially as I mentioned, has a better wave clear, better early push potential, is just making it really good for himself here as Ezra's in a bit of an awkward spot now.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see maybe not the ideal kill going over. I feel like if they'd given that kill over to Karthus, I think it was super doable. If Pyke maybe had given that kill over to Karthus, would be in a better spot, but overall, they've got a huge CS lead bot. And Pyke did still manage to pick up that first blood, so overall, definitely a win for Resurrected.
I agree. I think TSM Bullets getting that kill. I mean, it went to Sir Skittles, which is honestly still a good person to get through because Pyke hitting level 6 as fast as he can, getting the extra damage and the extra execute damage is insane for your level 6 all-in potential, especially considering Lucian is disgusting. Especially if Bladed Thesis can play around that, use ultimate at a good time will be great. So, with that in mind, it looks like Resurrected is getting the early game lead they really want. What can they do to facilitate this better early game lead as Mighty Hero 98 managed to just die through a great 3-man? Thank you, voice in my head.
Absolutely, we saw that kill go over to the Zoe there. Always good to see that Zoe get that early lead. As soon as the Zoe gets it back in, look for her to pick up a lost chapter and try to start dueling with this LeBlanc.
Ooh, go on. Tell me more about these dirty little matchups.
Well, the big thing with Zoe and LeBlanc is if this LeBlanc can dodge the sleep. If LeBlanc overextends and uses that distortion in order to maybe look to go aggro too early. Oh, okay.
Ooh, as we have it going on, Sir Skittles looking a bit aggressively onto Zoe. Zoe will be able to get away with the flash that she stole. The chains do land, but nothing really comes of these and bullets. Relentless Pursuit a bit aggressively, will eat a little bit of damage, but nothing really comes of it. Nothing really happens here. Still, the rookie will blow her flash, but will be completely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Summoners. Some people will argue that summoners aren't important if you blow them on Zoe, but I'm going to go ahead and actually disagree. Because without summoners on Zoe, your team fighting actually feels really weak, to be honest, because you don't have that clear way to engage and really just start getting that extra movement speed from your W passive and start to pop up.
Interesting. All I know is that right now, not too much is happening. Both junglers opting to go for a bit more of a farming style, which is pretty much what you expect. We do see a bit of trading in the top lane, but nothing really to write home about. We do see Garen winning the better of these trades early on. Bladed Thesis is kind of trying to do something, but Jandra was there, so nothing will really happen. Trying to go back to farming and just kind of pushing out lanes and making sure that you maintain your CS advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. One fight? Doesn't look like we're gonna quite see anything. One thing to note early is that Silver Rookie did opt to pick up a second Doran's Ring, as opposed to going something like that early Amp Tone with that Kill Gold. And while this does maybe increase his ability to fight a little bit earlier, overall, I mean, it just delays your power spike of that one item that looms Echo on Zoe, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Interesting, interesting. Why aren't you sure?
So obviously, the biggest thing on Zoe is that you want to get to that point where you can one-shot people. Can he kill him here? I don't think he can.
I don't think he
No,
can.
it doesn't quite look like.
I think the maiden can do a bunch of damage, but not enough to finalize that kill.
Absolutely, Yorick. Honestly, Yorick just does so much damage from so far away. It's kind of crazy that he's a melee champion.
Yes. Does a lot of damage. The monkeys do a lot of his damage for him. Star Skills is getting founded by the pink ward. Can't get that gank that he really wanted to do in the top lane to get Mighty Hero 98 into a better position. However, Mighty Hero 98 does have Garen passive, and Garen passive is legit. As we do see Sir Skills going for an aggressive trade, but that's pretty much it. Just a trade, nothing really to finalize there. We do have Bladed Thesis in a really aggressive spot.
So is Flash.
Pops Fry Cook able to get the passive on the stun, able to land. Bladed Thesis will be able to get Flash and use a blast code to get away from Jandra, so he will not take the EE damage from the Lamb and Wolf herself. It will survive, so with that in mind, they're going to clear some vision, and that's about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Classic not able to take that early Inferno there, just a little bit of a macro decision, just because of how far their lanes are even right now. Not a true opportunity, even with that Karthus backing. They do get these lane priority controls. They should have pretty decent river control right now. And maybe they can look to force a fight if they can get a pick.
I look to hope that they can force a fight, and we do see Johnny Richard able to get a good flash Q onto Mighty Hero 98, despite underneath his tower. That's gonna put Garen into a really awkward spot because Yorick is one of the very many champions that outscale a Garen into the later stages of the game. It's gonna get really, really hard for Garen to deal with that. So I look to see how that's going to interact in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Garen has no TP. That means that he's just going to lose turret here, even with Karthus trying to respond.
Yeah, with that in mind, Bladed Thesis, 9.5 minutes in, only level 6 in a bit of an awkward spot. Johnny Retard, though, is only very low on HP, so is Bladed Thesis. Mighty Hero, boom, Judgment! And that is going to be a dragon, the Infernal Dragon, actually, for the blue team here. Jandra's very happy with that. Hopefully they can just disengage this. I don't know if they want to keep going, but bit of an awkward spot.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful cross-map play from Classic there. Saw that the Karthus had to answer top and promptly rushed that Infernal Drake. And I'd love to see that, because it really shows that this team maybe actually has a semblance of macro.
I appreciate the cross-map plays, understanding what you can and can't do at this exact moment, and understanding what you can and can't get. What you can and can't do, what you can and can't get. What you can and can't get is a bit awkward in and of itself, but it's very important
here.
He is going to die, but he still has Zara. The Requiem is still there, but Jandro should be fine, even though I don't think he's going to use it. Jandro still has Lamb's Respite. There's no point in forcing it. Lamb's Respite being a shorter cooldown than Requiem by almost a full minute at this point in time.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe Requiem is the longest ulti cooldown in the game, just because of how influential it will be come these later stages in the game.
Yes, I agree. As the later stages of the game going hits level 16, you know that Karthus is going to be feeling really good. Star Skill is going for an aggressive trade, but I don't think anything will come of it, as they're not really able to force anything. The bot lane of Classic Esports Retro, understanding their place in this game, they don't really need to try anything. They just need to scale, try and get a little bit of CS where they can. Ezreal can lose some CS, it's fine. Into Lucian, he will outscale, and it will just be an immense poke champion that the Lucian has to deal with in the later stages.
Yeah, absolutely. He's already picked up 1 tier. LeBlanc looking for trade here, though.
Nothing's gonna come of it. Skittle's in a decent spot, but does not have the damage to be able to kill the Zoe. Especially with Zoe having that extra gold in her pocket with the extra Dorn during the HP she's getting from that. Not gonna allow her to die.
Yeah, absolutely. One big, Oh, I believe we're going to be seeing the Yorick has transferred to spot lane move. He doesn't know the Pikes here.
Sir Skills trying to make something happen, but Johnny Retard, not a retard, able to wear his helmet correctly today, decides to walk back towards the end of great position where he knows that Sir Skittles is not will be able to survive the stun and not get hit by it, and just able to trade back.
Absolutely, Sir Skittles was forced to blow his flash there. Just the insane damage of this Yorick. Remember, this is a Yorick who's able to fully milk every single turret plating on that top turret before 10 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, that Yorick loving his candy right now. We do, however, so a little bit caught, so Rookie 8 have to flash and barrier to get away from Pike, feeling safe that way. Johnny Retard a bit of a aggressive spot. TSM Bullets all by himself in this tower. Will, however, get done by Johnny Retard. Johnny Retard will die to TSM Bullets, and that is going to be a trade of kills here in the bot lane, which is honestly pretty good for both teams here. I think it's better and favors out the blue side. However, we do have Skittles able to get a great kill onto Silver Rookie right there as he get push a little bit more than we expected based on the early game trading. So that's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I am going to go ahead and question right here is the fact that the Zoe decided to blow both summoners whenever she was attacked there. I believe that she actually would have been fine maybe saving one of those summoners that she could have used to save herself later, just because of the movement speed that you get when you blow a summoner, but it's almost like just getting that extra little boost that maybe you don't need to blow both there.
Maybe. I don't know if she needed to blow both, but you know, you get a little bit of panic, feel a little afraid. There's a little block there. Karthus has ultimate. You might need to blow them just in case, because you don't want to be in the range of Requiem, and then also if a distortion Q is enough to kill you afterwards. You just have to be careful and prepared.
Absolutely. One thing that is a little concerning if you are the Karthus here is that the Kindred actually has a pretty big lead on you right now with that kill and that CS gold. She's going to look to force the Rift Herald with this.
I like that play a lot, being able to force that Rift Herald. You really, really want that to be able to push into Karthus early game, especially for something that's very hard for Karthus to deal with, like Rift Herald, Baron minions, if you get them as soon as you can, is something that he can't really deal with very easily. And if you can get those, it's very nice, because then he doesn't have the ability to push it. We do see a bit of a team fight coming out, so we're able to get that kill on Star Skills, but we do have a little bit going on, but nothing really conclusive as the red team decides to get away from blue team.
York just absolutely laying down the pain train on this Garen. With that Rift Herald pickup, one thing that I do want to see, however, is if you have this York in a lane and you send the Kindred as well, and you look to drop the Rift in the same lane as the York, but we gotta...
Ooh, and we do have that. I apologize, I was a bit distracted. We do have it. The Kindred getting caught. Silver Bush looking to get something more bladed. This is going even more aggressive. Walking right in. Will flash right into the middle of the team. Will die, however, the Requiem does come down. Silver Rookie and Pop Try Cooker will both die to the side of the red team, and I don't know if they're getting anything more. The Requiem has been able to do a bit of damage, but not enough. They have a second Infernal Dragon going to the side of Resurrected. Johnny Retard, though, will be able to try and push them away. I don't know if he's going to be completely able to. We'll get stunned, we'll get caught out, we'll get to press the attack, we'll get flashed away from the distance below. He does get the heal from Dense off, but I don't know if that'll be enough to get TSM Bullets, and we'll be able to get the Relentless Pursuit, we'll be able to get the damage, the Piercing Light, able to come in. Dense off a bit of an awkward spot, able to get the E out of the Sir Skittles hook, which will keep him alive. But Infernal Dragon has been started for the second time so far for the Resurrection team. We do have TSM Bullets. Mighty Hero 98 is here. And Sir Skittles, we have the entire 5 squad, except for Bladed Thesis. Bladed Thesis coming in very quickly. The Arcane Barrage coming in, not enough to get it. Lucian will get the Dragon for the red side. That is one Infernal for both teams. I don't know if they can keep going on, but we do have some bit of aggressive posturing. I think red team, though, will decide to back and keep it going.
Absolutely, we've got a very even game so far. Neither team are really pulling ahead. As far as individual gold goes, though, Lucian, massive right now. Zoe, also big. We're going to see this Rift dropped in the mid lane, though.
I agree. We do have the Ripshell drop in the mid lane. I don't know. We'll be able to get the first tower. Trying to get its pressure into the second tower. We'll be able to charge. We'll get it. We'll die right before the charge happens. Which is really good for the red team. I don't think they're going to be able to force too much off that. Blue team really wanted to get that away before it expires. So, honestly, getting a free tower, deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a free tower, always good. It allows York to continue to have the split push pressure. Obviously, Garen cannot answer him 1v1 necessarily anymore. It's because of how much damage he can put out with those little monkeys and that maiden. It's absolutely insane. And while having all that pressure to do split pushing as well is just massive pressure.
Honestly, not a lot's happening right now. I'm pretty excited to see what's going to be happening in about the next 2 to 4 minutes. We should start to see a little bit of explosions happening as the Baron starts to come alive for the next 2 minutes. We should start seeing some different ways the game's going to progress. DSM bullets are going to be something to be paying attention to, as Lucian is very strong, as you mentioned. And we'll be able to force fights and also play around fights very well. He's honestly looking good so far. The Relentless Pursuit being very easily able to dodge the Mystic shots and the Sleepy Trouble bubbles of Silver Rookie and Densoft, and something that you have to be looking forward to.
A thing that I am concerned about, though, with just how big this Lucian is just how small this Ezreal is. He's only got a meager 84 CS coming up on 19 minutes, and his team doesn't look like he's really letting him farm either. It's a little concerning, because behind Ezreal really does no damage.
Yeah, Ezreal's in a bit of an awkward spot. He's not able to get the amount of damage that he really wants to. He has a decent amount of CDR, he has the man immune, but not the Mermana yet. He does not have the Iceborne Gauntlet. He does not have the ability to survive and also kite out as much as he wants to. Something to pay attention to. We do have a bit of an aggressive trade. We have Star Skills able to get caught right in the fighting Arcane Barrage coming in clutch. We do have Jandra with the Lamp Fight able to keep people alive. Judgment coming out, not doing enough damage as the Lamp Fight is there. We do have blue team a bit below half. We do Silver Rookie in a bit of aggressive great spot. Palisar coming in. Blade Thief is trying to come in from flank. We do have the Skittles coming down. Jandra will not die, however, so he will die. Jandra able to barely survive. Pause Cook trying to keep him alive as much as he can. John and Retard in a bit of an aggressive spot. So Skittles, just as it is able to distortion away to get away, as Mighty Hero 98 will be able to cover for him and keep him alive. And that is a great trade. We have a 1-for-1 in the side of both teams. Really good for them. We do have Mighty Hero 98 trying to go aggressive again onto your Johnny Retard right here. Able to get the E down, able to get the instant damage down. I don't know if Mighty Heroes 98 is in a good spot for this. We do, however, have a bit of aggressiveness. Your skills, TSM Bullets is here, I don't think, and that is it. That is the end of that team fight.
Absolutely very extended team fight that we saw there. We did see the Lamser Spike going out to stop that Karthus ulti and that Garen ulti. Both, at least the Garen ulti in specific, was completely negated by a beautiful Lamser Spike from Jandro. We saw a great team fight overall. Silver Rookie was able to put out massive damage, and overall, a ton of summoners burned out from the side of Resurrected. That is going to make it very difficult to fight in these team fights coming forward.
Yeah, I look forward to how they're going to play it. I think it should be quite interesting. With this in mind, Prophet, which team do you think here, with two Infernal Dragons, one to each team, who has the better idea and the better way to execute the Baron right now?
As far as Baron rushes go, I don't think either team's Baron is really good right now. Obviously, I feel like I'm going to have to get the edge as far as actual Baron damage to Resurrected, even being slightly behind, just because Zoe does no damage to Baron.
We do have that bit of aggressiveness happening right there. We do have Pop Sprite Cook able to get a bit of damage, but nothing really concrete. Blade is able to walk out. We do have John to Recharge going for a bit of a tier 2 pressure here, as red team is trying to force the dragon. Nothing really able to come out of this. The third Infernal Dragon will fall. It's gonna look to go to blue team. We don't have a seal just yet. Yorick able to pressure to have a good mini wave, having the tier 3 being threat right here. TSM Bullets and Mighty Hero 98. No concrete CC. We do have the wall of paint coming out. Skittles able to miss that chain right there. Johnny able to walk away. The Bork is not enough. I don't think this slows. You need Jandro is here. He is here. He still has the Lambert fight. The death from below comes out. It does not be enough. Jandro will be able to cut away from Sir Skittles here. We do have Lady Days trying to come in from a blink, but that is not enough. There will be nothing to happen except for dragging going inside of the blue team.
To absolutely set Johnny Retard continue to push down that top lane, and again another beautiful Lamb's respite from Jandro. They're going pings on the Baron right now for Resurrected.
Resurrected, understanding that blue team is in a better spot, might be looking to force the dragon, as we do see the red team forcing it right now. Blue team is not in a better spot, as we mentioned before. Giant Retard trying to TP in, will have a sleeping drum land on the Sir Skittles. Sir Skittles in a bit of an awkward spot because of that. However, blue team is trying to finish the Baron, maybe, or at least take it a little bit, maybe see if they can get something going. You have Johnny Retard, Silver Rookie, the entire blue. Here we do have Jandro off on the side. The Baron has reset. I don't know if anything is going to happen from this.
Yeah, absolutely. Resurrected was forced off that Baron, but we did see Johnny Retard's TP come out. Sleep lands, though.
Sir Skittles does get a good decent hook on the Jandro, but Jandro will, however, take that with pride and get that kill on the blade pieces. TSM bullets, not TSM bullets. Sir Skittles will die to Zoe right there. We do have 2 kills coming out from Bladed Days. Bladed Days with the after death are the Requiem able to kill Densop and Silver Rookie. Both the carries on the team. Mighty Hero 98 in a bit of a spot. Johnny Retard, less than a third HP, less than a half. He is dead. He's completely gone. Thank you, Mighty Hero 98 and TSM both in the first spot. The new source coming in. Jandro will be able to die as well. The latest fight not even coming out. I lied. It's not even off cooldown. We do have the only person alive off Spy Cook. We have Mighty Hero 98, TSM bullets, and Skittles. I don't know what they're going to be able to do with this except for push down mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Classic Esports thought they'd hit gold when they got to pick onto that Karthus. Karthus turned around and put out a massive ulti while Lamb's Spy was still down. And then they really had nowhere else to go and were just cut off by a dead Karthus. And then they had this Lucian and this Garen on the other side with no real place to go other than back to the fountain. Yeah.
You have to be careful when it comes to the Garen and Lucian, albeit you might think that they're down and out. They do have the mobility techniques, they do have survival abilities, they do have the extra sustain in their kits. You have to be careful of that. The extra healing that TSM will get from the Bork, especially finished early on, is not something you might be prepared for as the AD carry or the team of the blue team, especially compared to most AD carries. So it's something you have to pay attention to.
Yeah, absolutely. TSM Bullets is this massive 5-1 Lucian now. 180 CS at 25 minutes. Not perfect, but still a very respectable CS amount, especially for 60 CS lead over the Cicero. Definitely the biggest carry in the game right now. LeBlanc is no slouch either. She's 2-0. I believe she picked up a shutdown at some point.
Yeah. She did. I'm pretty sure it was shut down onto the Zoe. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't really know. We do see a bit of aggressiveness coming out. Sir Skittles able to use his camouflage to get away. Johnny Retard not able to keep going. The hook does not land. Johnny Retard barely able to get away. Will not land anything. We do have just a bit of a Baron dance going on. The game going a bit harder to execute for both teams here. Not really anybody having some really good hard engage to force a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are resurrected here, I feel like you have to force a fight before this Yord's TP comes up and then you can go right back to split pushing. Otherwise, you're really going to come into some issues because you're just going to have to send so many people to answer that it's not going to be worth it.
We didn't mention this earlier, but Mighty Hero 9 opting for Ignite, as we do see Johnny Retard getting a big cut. I know if coming up. This kill's coming out. John will be able to get a kill. We do. Blue team. We do see the rookie coming out. I don't know if that will be enough. It will not kill Jandro. It will not kill Johnny Retard. We're in a bit of a good spot here. Pop Dry Cook. We do have Silver Rookie still able to make the catch potential. We have the great sustain right here. Blue team is up 3-5. I don't think that they might be able to force the Baron as easy as they think. We do have Skittles coming in off the side. We have Mighty Hero 98 in a good position. We have them starting the Baron. They're keeping it going. They're melting it decently
Skittles
fast.
can melt someone really fast here.
TSM Bullets though, the calling is coming up. Pops for a quick bit of an arc spot. Johnny return though. I don't think he can handle the solution. Then we'll have 2 more kills, 3 more kills, 4 more kills on the side of Resurrection. Resurrection is the spot. We do have the calling coming out. We have that. That is a complete ace for the side of Resurrection. And we have the Dragon spot with Baron right now. Skittles trying to tank right now immediately as well.
That's going to be an uncontested Baron. Nothing they can do.
I agree. We have the entire top red side, the Resurrection team, completely aced them in a good spot, able to get this Baron. I believe, hopefully they can. I think they will, based on the numbers they have, and I don't know what they'll be able to force with it. What can they force with it? The Prophet.
It looks like they're just going to be able to take it, and Karthus is going to go ahead and pick up that Ocean Dragon as well. They just, like I said, they don't have enough Baron damage. They tried to take the Baron damage with their picks that they got. They'd already blown the Rams. They had to blow the Rams Respite earlier. That means that they had no way to counter all these big carries from the side of Resurrected still coming into this game. With that LeBlanc, with that Lucian, even with that Garen was able to execute a carry, and they just overextended.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Even if you force this fight super hard, I believe he does have the Requiem. The Requiem can turn a fight. If you can catch up late at these, you have to make sure that he's not around where you're fighting, and you have to catch him before you even want to fight. So this way, it's like he has to be back in time to be able to prepare for vision and stuff like that, and catch him before that. It's ideal, but you have to be careful because him just hitting R just makes it. No matter what happens, red team will win that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Karthus is up to 12 Dark Harvest stacks now. Obviously, a very strong Karthus that we see. It's going to be difficult to win these teams fights, but at the same time, I feel like you've really shot yourselves in the foot this game. If you are Classic here, you have this Baron throw where you're clean ace, straight up 5 for nothing after a good pick fight. And you've got, we said going into this game, okay, Classic has the better late game by far, obviously. They don't have this LeBlanc, they don't have this Garen. Then they go ahead and get a 4-2 Garen, a 3-0 LeBlanc, and a 7-1 Lucian that completely negates any late game scaling deficits that they would have had.
Yeah, all of their late game, it still exists, but right now they have a very high goal deficit of 3k to deal with in the fact that LeBlanc, Lucian, Garen is not super high. We do have Blade decent, bit of an awkward spot. Still able to survive. Still has his R, something to pay attention to, even though if he dies. York, though, only down 3 deaths compared to Garen, which is albeit a lot comparatively. It's, you know, you still have to play around that as well as you can. So, Prophet, with this point in time, it's looking like even the Resurrected has a better team comp right now. We do know that, as you and I have both mentioned, that Classic Esports Retro has a better scaling composition. What can Classic Esports Retro do to get themselves back into this game as much as they want to be?
So, for starters, I don't even feel like as much as Classic has attempted to throw this game, they're only down 2k gold. This Baron push is not quite over yet, and that number will grow. But as of right now, they're only down 2k gold. They are still in this game. My biggest concern is that you need to get a pick if you are this Zoe. You've got 4 squishy targets to choose from. You shouldn't have any issues initiating a fight with this Sleepy Treble Bubble on any of these squishy carries.
I agree. Zoe, if can land any Sleepy Treble Bubble, should be able to just get the greatest pick that her team needs. As long as she can effectively land the Sleepy Treble Bubble. However, minions make it hard, terrain make it hard, especially if there's some vision, so you can see the Sleepy Treble Bubble coming. Makes it a bit hard, and also executing on it can be hard as well. Sleepy Treble Bubble does land on the bladed piece. Bladed piece is a bit of an awkward spot. We do have the Skittles coming out, nothing really coming in. TSM Bullets going. Relentless pursuit over the wall. Bit aggressive there. Relentless pursuit back roll. Will still died afterwards. The add on attack still coming in. We do have some extra damage coming in as well. Blue team looking a bit good right now. Skittles is very low, so Skittles is also decently well, trying to look for maybe a pick. The ultimate coming out. We do have 2 people in the blue team in a very low spot, but nobody is as low as TSM Bullets.
Yeah, absolutely. TSM Bullets did end up going down in that fight there. Wasn't able to survive. And while we do say I believe this Baron push will be over, Resurrected, I believe, is able to get all 3 of these outer turrets, and these inner turrets, excuse me. That's still a massive gold lead. Actually, it's really not even that big still. They managed to pick up 3 turrets, and they're still only up 3k. Whereas if you see from the side of Classic, they have 2 Infernals to Resurrected's 1, so their late game scaling, honestly, I feel should still prevail here. Especially with how big this Jandro is on Kindred.
We just need to see some sort of action, some sort of CC that can prevail here. Both teams, really good spot right now. Bladed Thieves in a really good spot right now. To just hit R, make the make the blue team really sad right here. As he's up and go E, and he will die here. He does not have his R. His R is a bit down for a couple of seconds. He will not be able to use it during his time of death, as it is not long enough to channel. Blue team is in a really good spot here. I don't know if they want to force. They don't know what they're going to do here. However, we do have Bladed Thieves dead. That is a 4v5.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like they definitely should have gone to get Ocean Pressure there, and I feel like they're just gonna leave it up there, which I'm not sure is the right call when Resurrected's jungler is down.
I don't think it is. We do have Ginger barely alive. Pop Frycook will get him the Unbreaking Shield to keep him alive. That will not be all. Skittles trying to push out John to reach out of the lane, but that is not going to be as easy as you think, as he's just able to just sustain really easily with the huge procs that he has available to him. We do have a bit of extra damage coming in, but nothing really conclusive to make anything that can easily be forced happen. We do have, however, the dragon started by the blue team. Blue team will get that dragon, and that will be good for them, but I don't know what else they can do here.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just kind of going to take this dragon. Kindred is stacking up. She is up to 10 stacks now with that, almost matching Karthus and Dark Harvest stacks, which is kind of crazy considering how much more difficult Kindred ones are to get, especially kind of late game. They're a bit, because you have to be able to choose which target you're going to execute. And if your team doesn't have proper target focus, that can be very difficult to do.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, York in a bit of a awkward spot right here. Has not really opted for a tanky build, has opted for Trinity Force into Spirit Shojin. He does have a Spirit Visage, he does have a Tabby. We do have the Bramble Vest here, which will help facilitate the extra damage that we can get, and also deny the amount of healing that he wants TSM Bullets and Mighty Hero 98 to get. He has opted to try and finish the Thorn Mill here. So, not really the greatest tank build, but we'll be able to facilitate that. We do have a good catch here from really good cut. We do have Jandro available to keep going. Jandro will just be able to die to the Blade Beast's Requiem. We do have Mighty Hero 98 able to catch him, and then Ezreal. And getting another kill onto Pop Strike Cook here as well. Excuse me from my burp. We do have Johnny Retard trying to kite them out as well as he can, but we do have him Desmond Flake getting the extra damage jumping down. He is less than half HP. We do have 3 people here fighting him down. We do have LeBlanc able to get away. Skittles very low on HP. He does from below, not enough to kill Johnny Retard. Blade Beast is still here. We'll get him hit own Skittles, and we're able to keep pushing this out. Resurrected in a bit of a good spot here.
Yeah, absolutely, Jandro. And I feel making his first big mistake of the game. Wasn't able to pop. Skittles? Fight's still going on.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Was not able to get that pop that he wanted to, as the Baron is still now going down for the side of Resurrected. And I don't think that, or I think that's going to be it. We do have a Silver Rookie trying to do what he can, trying to be the poke initiated for his team. That will be it. Blade Thesis does get the Baron. That is a full Baron team on the side of Resurrected.
Yeah, absolutely. Zoe does have that great Baron control. Was able to poke him off, but wasn't able to save it there, just because of how massive that damage was.
Yeah, the damage is a lot, but it's not enough just yet. Blue team still trying to do what they can for the team. They do have 3 dragons to 2, 15 to 22. They're only down 4.5k gold. No, 5.5k gold. Will that be enough? I'm not entirely sure. Just yet, we do see red team able to get some good things going for themselves. They might be down a dragon, but they do have Baron right now.
Absolutely, and that is their second Baron as well. Second Baron is stronger overall, but I feel like we need to see this Yorick start to go into side lane. Otherwise, I don't feel like you win team fights at all if you're Classic right now, just because of how strong this LeBlanc and Lucian are. You have to take advantage of advantageous numbers for yourself and send this Yorick to a side lane.
Yeah, Yorick needs to get into a side lane to be even able to deal with Mighty Hero 98, but I don't think that's something we're really able to see right now. Mighty Hero 98 is really strong. T-Sam Bullets completely cutting out deads off from the team of the red team, able to get pulling ahead right here. We do have an extra amount of damage coming in. We do have York trying to do what he can to try and facilitate his team here, trying to stop them from pushing as hard as they can. We do have these getting caught by safety trouble, nothing really conclusive. We do have some more damage coming out. TSM Bullets is able to pursue a way to keep himself alive. Believe he's able to Requiem early to try and poke them out, try to chunk them before the fight can even happen. Really, he's maybe looking for something a bit aggressive. Does land some skills, does land some damage. I don't know if he can keep going on the tower. It will take some extra damage. The demolish crack. We do have the cannon being as well. Blue turret will go down. We do have some extra damage coming down. We'll be able to get positioned away. Skittles will do, and that is, I believe, the end of that. No, I lied. That's not they kill with the Arcane Barrage. We do have our Templar falling for the side of red team. This is very good for them, and I don't know what else they can keep forcing.
Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to continue this siege here, but they've already got the inhibitor. No reason to really overstay here and potentially lose goal.
With this in mind, it's looking like Resurrect is giving them a slow choking and just kind of slowly working their way into the middle of blue team's team and able to get themselves this victory. What do you think, Prophet, even though red team has started the Elder Dragon?
I mean, absolutely, the Elder Dragon. I feel like if blue team loses the Elder Dragon here, that's going to be really hard to deal with that Karthus ulti. Going to be back up. I don't think they win a team fight with that.
Yeah, the Elder Dragon is such a great team fighting tool. Sir Skittles going over the wall with the blast gun. We have Johnny Richard getting chucked out a bit by T-Sam Bullets, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Blue team opting to get the Elder Dragon here. I don't know if that's going to be anything that's happened here. Mighty Hero 98 will be able to get away with the same trouble. The Cullen coming out. I don't think it's going to do anything really to the size of the blue team. The Maiden will die though, and that is going to be at least a decent victory for the red team, but that is about all you can hope for here.
Yeah, absolutely. They kind of just got bullied off there. We're going to see if red team is able to contest here, if they're just going to give it.
I imagine they're just going to give it. It's a bit of an awkward spot right now. I don't know what they can do or what they can do to protect themselves or what they can do to force.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually kind of really surprised and impressed with Classic at the same time. They straight up just bullied Resurrected off there, and Resurrected refused to go contest.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward spot so far. Resurrected doesn't really have the best late game, as we mentioned before. Kind of just has hopes they can get some pick or get the team fight prior to what they want.
These super minions here, even with this L, they're not a easy pick.
Skittles does get caught there by the Zoe. That is a good free kill for her, as much as the blue team can want. With this in mind, you do have one down. Of course, there's no real objectives on the map. We do have Baron in a minute, but that is a minute now. Full block will be up in 40 seconds, which means that she has 20 seconds to get back to the Baron pit if necessary. So that's not really a great pick that you need.
But like the Classic here, you have to step up and attempt to regain some Baron vision. Otherwise, you're going to see a third Baron that's going to be stuffed straight down your throat.
Yes, the Baron main you have to be careful for. I don't know enough about how they want to get this team comp going for themselves and how they want to pressure themselves for 1-3 run, 4-1 split push. I don't know what they're going to be doing. Mighty Hero 98 getting a bit poked out by Johnny Richard. Johnny Richard able to keep pushing the tower. I don't know if he can keep pushing. I think he's going to try as much as he can. He will look to be maybe for a recall here, as they do have some people from the red team able to poke out the inhibitor, but that's not enough to take it. Mighty Hero 98 will stop the recall as well. He's still trying to look at what he can do. Mighty Hero 98 less than half HP is still a bit of an awkward spot. I don't know if he can force anything though.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Johnny Richard still able to fully take advantage of this Yorick late game. Has outskilled this Garen, even if the Garen was able to get back into the game a little bit. One big thing to note, though, is Jandro is absolutely massive right now on this Kindred. While he is only 3, 4, and 8, he's sitting at 300 CS right now, which leads to absolutely massive gold to the point where he has, I believe, is working on his 5th and final item, which is going to be the Hex Drinker into... I can't remember the name of the item right now, I'm struggling.
Extra grain, the Fan Dancer is what I imagine, but I don't know if that is going to be exactly it. We do also have the mob. I imagine that that's what it's going to be looking for. The ultimate of Garen's magic damage. We have played these with the magic damage. We have skills of the magic damage. We do have TSM bullets and source skills. Both the 80 damage for this team. We do have the red team starting the Baron right here. They do chunk it pretty well. You do have the Borg on the Lucian. He does enough auto attack. Bladed Thesis does have a good DPS. He's a bit caught out here. He is barely alive. He will not hit R. Just hit. He will die. Johnny right there will die. We have 2 kills for the red team. We do have Pop Spry Cook dead as well, so Baruki and that's not trying to do what they can with the poke. However, we do a Blade Thesis directly when it does come out. There's a lot of damage coming here. It's still 3v4. The 4 is trying to force something if they can. So Skills is a bit of a backward spot. We do have the Distortion coming out. So Skills is able to get damage down with the Proto Belt. We'll get that Guardian proc of the Kindred. Kindred's in a bit of a backward spot. The Jandro will Lamb's trying to keep himself alive a little bit longer. So Skills is still here. Skills is here as well. That will be a 4v2, I think. Silver, Rookie, and Denzap. I don't know how much they can hold. The 4 people will be able to try and steal them from the tower. They're trying to look for the inhibitor as much as they can. The red team is still in a good position. But you getting out of taxi will get hit by the sleep driver with Sir Skittles. Well, he is asleep, but he is still alive. Sir Skittles himself is doing a bit well. Sir Skittles going, TSM Blood's going a bit aggressively happy. Way. He's very low on HP. He's got less than 100 HP. Mighty Hero 98 will be able to eat some skill shots as well, but not enough to keep himself alive. He will be able to kite this out just a little bit. The Sleep Driver will miss. They did take 1 hit, but they did not take the 2. He's still able to keep running, and that, I think, will be the end of that team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. We are approaching 45 minutes now. You think you get to the point where maybe Resurrected start to fall off? Due to the fact that they did get those leads early game and continue to at least go even in these fights, buying more time for your Karthus to scale. Even if you have the enemy scaling, late game Karthus beats out pretty much anyone, even after the nerfs.
Yeah, late game Karthus is a lot of fun to deal with if you have no idea what you're dealing with.
Yeah, absolutely. Haven't seen the Requiem coming out before in these fights, like you pointed out in Champ Select. It is good to see. Then maybe he does realize that it's best to do that preemptively, really chunk out your opponents, like you were saying, to give them a better chance to win these fights, or at least go even, which is what they've shown that they...
Yes, I agree. I think right now it's going to be a bit of an awkward setting for the red team. As much as they are up 5k gold, I don't think they'll be able to finish it as neatly as they want, considering the skill that they have is not on their side, as we mentioned before.
Karthus is going to be starting to solo up that Elder, though. I don't think they know. They have no way to know.
They do not. He is starting and he's less than half HP. We do have a blue team coming around. Johnny, albeit not retarded, is able to project this. We do believe he's trying to steal the dragon back. Even though he started it, he will not be able to get it. Johnny Reed can be able to zone away from him. The wall's coming out. We do have search skills able to get a decent hook. That will be 2 kills. 3 kills over to the red team. There's Lucian with a triple kill right now. We do have 1 person dead on the side of that. I don't know who died. Never mind. That was actually the Illuminati Dragon. We do have another kill coming in. Silver Rookie will be able to die. That is all 5 kills. That is red team in a good spot here. It's almost 6k gold up. There's no deaths on the side of red team except for TSM Baltimore. Will they be able to continue this and push this into the victory? I'm not entirely sure just yet. We do have them keep going. So our skills is there. We do have Bladed Thesis there. Mighty Hero 98. 1 tower will fall down. We do have some damage coming down. Skills will be able to take another one. There's 2 towers down. Nexus will be falling. I don't know if it will just yet. There it is. There it is. There it goes. Oh, that is it. Resurrected with another win after their whole fiasco in the earlier season.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Resurrected get pushed off a second Elder again, but afterwards they just completely dominated that team fight with no real response from Classic. They just kind of got picked off. And while we were talking so much about this Ezreal late game, I feel like we're going to see definitely in the damage charts that it never really came.
I agree. I never really think that Classic is able to get into a position to force Resurrected into a position where Classic can actually poke and get them into a position, actually get a good, decent siege going. And that was probably to their downfall. I think they needed something a bit more forceful to enable that to happen, to respect that, hey, I can engage on you if necessary, and also you have to be respectful of this poke that's going to be happening here. And it never really happened. There's just lots of flanks and lots of plays that end up happening to force certain things out of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We see. Oh, hello, background noise. Ooh. Anyways, I think we see that maybe Classic, while they did have this better late game scaling comp, they never really got to where they wanted to be due to these massive leads that they gave up to these early game carries that kept them relevant throughout this mid and this late game. And we see Resurrected, maybe not such a bad team. They're going to start to pull together. But as we see from Classic, really struggled with decision making, I feel, in this game. I feel like they had great macro early game. They picked up that early Infernal. But then whenever it came to that late game, they gave up 2 Barons, 2 or 3 Barons. While they did manage to push off for 2 Elders, they had to lose those fights dramatically in order to get those 2 Elders.
I agree. It was not looking great for Blue Team. They were able to really get what they needed to keep themselves alive in the objective game. Ezreal and the Zoe not really able to force the enemy team into a lane to get the pokes and extra sustain they needed to keep things going. Not really ideal for themselves. I will mention though that this was our last game of the night. The OBL has forfeited. The Obliteration has forfeited here, as I don't know exactly what happened, but they have opted to not play the next game. We do have Clarence. OO has subbed as well, so honestly, congratulations to him. We did get to see this wonderful game for Resurrected and Classic Esports Retro. Classic Esports Retro having failed again, but however, Resurrected trying to show that they're still on the upswing and something's going on. Any last words from you, the Prophet?
One big thing I am gonna go ahead and have to give some credit over the teams today. I feel like neither team really played poorly. Obviously, both teams were able to get a great. Maybe not great. I feel like they had good drafts overall. I don't feel like anyone played badly. However, Karen, you didn't buy pink word. Come on, dude.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even look.
Karen and Ezreal both did not buy a pink word. Holy, one on each team.
Garen,
that's reportable.
Garen, you know what? You're a man. You're allowed to. Ezreal, though, you get free pink words with Klepto. Honestly, you're not allowed. You, though, you suck. I'm sad for you. Garen, he's a who also just subbed? Thank you, voice in my head. Ryson has also subbed as well. Thank you for subbing to us. We love your support and we appreciate you deeply. Thank you, voice in my head, as well.
Yep, I think we're in a bit of an awkward spot now, but I think we're going to go ahead and finish up here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the stream today. Be sure to check out the games all throughout the rest of the weekend.
Yep, and I agree. I wish you the best of night, and I will see you probably sometime during this weekend. You'll never know when I show up.